What's up, party people? It's D to the J with the roll away. It is Tuesday at 5:36. We're going on a little bit early today because Miss Shayna has tutoring at 7, and we want to make sure to get a full session in just in case we go over that hour. As I said, I'm with my sister Shayna and D to the J with the roll away. This is episode 6 of Get Real on Wheels Talk. What we're going to talk about today is couple of things.
Hold on there now.
I thought of something. I'm sorry. You said birds. I said I hope they don't fall out.
Anything liable to happen around this head, kid.
Oh, Jesus. I'm sorry, y'all. Yeah, just bear with me.
It's between us.
Inside joke. So as we come on today, we did our 4-part series on marriage and relationships. We've talked about quite a few things. We talked about relationship with a disability. We've talked about, should I stay or should I go? We talked about, a toxic relationship. What we're going to talk about today is being around the right people in your life and knowing when to let go. It seems simple, and it really is, but people make it so complicated. And I look at it like this. If a person in your life is causing you drama, and that's all they do, you have to decide, can you live with it? And that's kind of the question that I'm throwing out. Hey, Crystal. Hey, Cindy. Hey, Josie. Hey, Nikki. So basically, it's one of those things that as you go through life, there are certain people that are going to be your friends. Let me say this. Not everybody is your friend. That's the first thing. Just because they do something nice 1 or 2 times, okay, people are going to show their true colors eventually. And that's the same with everybody. And I'm looking at life like this. There are friends, there are acquaintances, and there are people that are just in your life. Remember, everything happens in seasons. Okay? And I'm going to be very real on this show when it comes to people. There's 2 things I want to cover that I want to talk about mainly, and I'm going to have Shayna comment on this.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody in your life has a life too. And that's something that you want to remember, whether you have a disability or not. And then the other thing I want to point out is people get tired. We are human, okay? I'm not saying that when they get tired, there's a way to handle it, and I want to cover that. So having polymyositis, having a disability, having it, after you had your daughter, come up, you were quote unquote whatever the hell normal is, and then
able-bodied.
Yep.
Normal.
Then your disability hits you like a ton of bricks,
and
everything changed. Turn your world upside down completely, and you were in the situation you were in. Now, have you had the friends that you've had for a long time do a lot of things for you and then get tired and never talk to you again?
No friends. It was more family
than
anything. But did they get tired? Maybe. Did they show it? Some did, some didn't. But for me, especially now, I see that family members come in when it's needed the most. They pick up things that they know that I'm no longer able to, especially like dealing with my children.
Mm-hmm.
So we have my cousin and we have godparents that step up to do things. And I guess by them doing that, it alleviates some of the pressure of doing too much for me and the children. So I could say that. But my main three people that sometimes I feel like I'm a bother to them, but yet they don't show it is like my mom and my two children. But they won't show it.
All right, now, and I'm glad you brought that up. Okay, what I've got in my hand is basically flavored water. Okay, it's carbonated. You shake this water up enough, and you open this water when you shake it, it's going to explode. Okay, family, friends, people, anybody in your life, if they are around you.
Hold on now. Do you got plastic down?
If they're around you in your life all the time and you open it too fast, it explodes and goes everywhere.
Oh, so I see where you're going at with this. That if you keep on asking, getting help from that one person that may not have an outlet because they are always helping you, they may reach that boiling point and tip over.
That's part of it. But the other part is people have to learn how to tell you, look, I need a break.
Yeah.
And I want to say this. There's nothing wrong with that. Hey, Kristen, how are you? Appreciate you tuning in. Hey, Daniel, how are you? I really, my best friend, and I use him as an example because it's an honest example, and I see why, and I see what happened, and since then we've reconnected.
Mm-hmm.
I honestly, my friend had a problem saying no. Okay, he thought when he met me that he had to do everything that I asked because no one else would do it. Okay, and I didn't pick up until later on, until too late, that he could not say no. Okay, but that's a problem that a person has to deal with, and that person has to deal with that you can't deal with. You can't fix them. They can only control what they can control. You can control what you can control. Now, the difference was we should have talked about it much sooner. Okay, and he realizes that now. Everybody has a breaking point. Okay, whether they're your friends, whether you're your mom, dad, family, dog, pet, whatever it is, even your
caregivers.
Yeah, even your everything has an expiration date. Everything has a breaking point. Everything has a point of no return. Now, when I say, being around the right people and knowing when to let go, okay, I have a problem letting go of things, okay? I don't like to make people mad. I don't like to make people upset. I don't like confrontation. Now, when it comes down to it, I can handle my fucking business. I'm going to just let you know. But I don't like confrontation. I'm not a person to sit there and say, let me see if I can get somebody so heated that we come to blows over this thing. But it took me a while to realize you have to watch and you have to listen. When you have caregivers and you have family members and they do things for you, never, ever take it for granted. So many, and we do it, and I said we do it and don't realize it because we get used to it and they're doing it out of the goodness of their heart. They don't have to do it. My wife doesn't have to help me put my shoes on. My wife doesn't have to help me put my socks on. Okay? She does. Out of the goodness of her heart because she knows I need it. But I should never expect her, honey, why ain't my shoes on? Come on, let's go. You cannot get to that comfortable point. Everybody has a life. Everybody has something that they need to do. Okay? Now, Shayna, your situation is a lot different than mine.
Mm-hmm.
because you're more on the need help with lifting side,
Yep.
need help with
Depending. Mm-hmm.
right a little bit more dependent. But it's nice that you're able to kind of mix it around a little bit
Yeah.
to where it's not one person. See,
Mm-hmm.
I was in a situation where all I had was Max. Okay, so I said his name. I didn't mean to. All I did was rely on him, and he got tired.
Yeah.
Okay, and the thing about it is, I didn't see his breaking point until it was too late because he didn't let it out, and that was on me. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
so we had because cooking with Carter when we started it, cooking with Carter became fun and energetic, and it was new and great, and we were doing shows and hanging out. Also, Max was 23 years old then.
Mm-hmm.
He was young. He had to figure out life and school and friends, and he was a very shy individual. So him having a friend like me was different. We could joke on each other. And the first time he made a wheelchair comment, he was like, "Oh God, I shouldn't have done that." But it took him 6 months to even see my chair. He didn't say anything about my chair for 6 months, and I felt so used to having him around
Mm-hmm.
that it was natural. It was natural for me to allow him to do things. I didn't realize that I took him for granted because I asked him for help with everything, and he got tired.
Well, hell, DJ, people doing that are able-bodied take people for granted. So it's not just us now.
Exactly. So we're talking about this on a large scale. Okay. So now, when I say being around the right people, okay, there's a right way and a wrong way to say things. I'm tired. I don't want to help you no more. I'm out. That's the wrong way to do it. Okay. That person has gotten to the breaking point. That person has got to, you know, we have talked about in the past 6 episodes we've done, in every episode that we do, we have talked about communication. Communication between people is so important. Miss Wilson says there's a right way and a wrong way to say things and do things. You've got to watch and listen to how and when you say things. There's an appropriate time. You don't blast somebody over the airwaves. Okay, what I learned and what I had to learn was, going back to the reference with Max, he was my friend long before Cooking with Carter ever started. Long before Cooking with DJ Carter Worth the Wait ever started. Okay, Cooking with Carter was our thing that we designed together, and it became work, and it stopped being fun for him, and I should have picked up on that. Okay, that's me. Again, I will take the blame for that. Okay, and because we were able to work things out, and because I was able to hear him out and hear what his concerns was, and here I want to come over and hang out, but I don't want to have to do something for you and hang out. See, and I'll be honest, okay, when you're friends with someone that has a disability, you have to look at it totally different because they may need help with something and they're used to asking a certain way. Okay, so it may come off as do this for me because they need, that's the only way they know. They may not be around or have been around a person that is quote unquote able-bodied. So it may be different for them as well as it may be for the able-bodied individual being around them and not knowing how to. There's a gap there. We have to learn to communicate as people, not just disabled and non-disabled. We have to learn to communicate as people. Okay, you cannot wait until something gets on your mind and it's all the way at the top of your head and blow up at somebody and expect it to be okay. You've got to communicate. Being That's what I mean by breaking point. Everybody has one, but you've got to communicate before it gets to the breaking point. If you want to save your friendship, if your friendship is valuable, if it's real, if it's something that you feel that you care about enough, talk to the person and let them know they are valued by you. Don't just not say anything. Once in a while, take them out to dinner. Once in a while, tell them you love them. Once in a while, give them a card with a message inside. Write them a letter. Tell them how valuable they are. It makes a person feel good to know that they are appreciated. Okay?
Hell, I even say I'm not a psychic. I'm not a mind reader. Speak what's on your mind and just let it out. Just say it.
People hold on to things entirely too long. Okay? When you hold on to stuff and you start packing stuff in, okay, it does things to you physically, it does things to you mentally, and it does things to you emotionally. Okay? And you get to that what the fuck moment. Okay? You want to talk before you get to that moment. Everybody has a breaking point. Okay? But it doesn't have to be here. When the problem is this big, the problem doesn't have to be this big. Don't make a mountain out of a molehill. Okay? Remember that just because a person has a disability doesn't mean that you can't talk to them like you can everybody else. Okay? You don't have to go, I have a problem with you. You do. No. And then just talk to me, man. Let me know what's on your mind. Sit down and drink a little bit. Let's eat a little bit. Let's come to some kind of conclusion and work this thing out. Okay? Now, how do you know the difference between a person that is taking advantage of you and not taking advantage of you? Let me give you a couple of ways. Okay? If every time you want somebody to come over and do something for you, okay? Everybody, I need you to do this. If it comes to that, and it's I need. That becomes one-sided. When it comes to any kind of relationship, whether it's a friendship, whether it's someone helping someone out, remember there are two people involved, sometimes more. I think there's an expectation on family, and I'm going to read a couple of these comments in just a minute. I think there's an expectation on family to where they feel like they have to do it. Okay, let me read this real quick. Let me go back up here. A lot of people are saying, "Hey, Cindy said this. I like how you put that, Shayna, being able-bodied, and that's true." Okay, all right. Now, Daniel says this: never feel like a bother when needing help. Mothers need help too. Those folks are there for a reason. Now, they are.
Thank you, Daniel.
They are. But never take advantage of that reason. Now, Josie says amen, and Miss Wilson says for sure, Shayna. Daniel says agreed both ways. It does work both ways. Kristen says this: so many dynamics are generational, and it can be hard to even realize your way of communication is unhealthy. Not sure I could have gotten to where I am without the Lord and a lot of counseling. That's true. Sometimes the dynamics of communications are even hard, and it's negative from the start. And sometimes you've got to get out of it for a season or two, or get away from it for a season or two. Crystal says this: we've got to have the ability to be truthful, constructive communication, even if it's difficult, before you burn out each other and lose the relationship, no matter the relationship level. Well said. That is well said. I think that if people can come to terms with each other and learn how to communicate and the way the person works, when you're around a person, you're going to know what ticks them off. You're going to know what turns them on. You're going to know what makes them happy, what makes them sad, all of that. You learn the way a person is by being around them. Now, when the relationship becomes one-sided, if you are always doing something for somebody else, look at that. That you need to stand up and say, look, or speak up and say, look, this is happening too much. I feel that. Okay. But then let the other person respond and make sure that you do it as Crystal said, constructively. Don't bash the other person in the head with a chair. You're not going to get anywhere. You're going to have a broken chair and somebody on the floor.
And you somebody going to jail.
You're going to have bail money and all that. I just don't know. You got to learn.
Mm-hmm.
It really, people are people regardless. And I think if we get past the people point and we look at people as our servants, then that's not how it's going to work. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
No one is put on this earth to just be yours unless y'all are together emotionally, physically, and in marriage or a relationship. The problem is we have to remember, disabled or not, we may have a disabled body, but some of us do not have a disabled mind. And we need to remember that communication to anyone that we talk to has to be fair, because we have to look at their side too. I have seen people hold stuff in for so long, and then when they blow up, you get 19 different things in 15 minutes, and you're wondering where step one came from. That's where I'm talking about is too much. You've got to have, as it happens, and before it gets to this level, you got to break it down a little bit and try to work on it. That's the other part I want to cover. We've mentioned, being with the right people. When you're with the right person, they're coachable. Someone that is in your life that can admit when they're wrong, and someone that is in your life that is coachable, that can listen and say, you know what, I handled that the wrong way. I should have come at that better. Okay.
Not only coachable, you are relatable. You're not afraid to speak your mind to one another.
Sure. I agree with that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and you're not there to be toxic. You help build each other up and let me know when I'm wrong, vice versa.
But I think that's a great point, Shayna. I think it's in how you do it, how you let the person know they're wrong, how you make them feel when they're right or they're wrong, or vice versa. You don't want to come down on the person so hard when they make a mistake as to them being worthless, because words can kill a person. I mean, words are powerful. It's amazing to me how much words can hurt somebody.
But it also depends on the type of relationship that they had with each other.
But being coachable, what I mean by that is not so much that it's, one or the other. Shayna will be right back. Had just a bit of a technical difficulty. Lost Shayna there for a second. The other part of it is it basically, there we go. It basically means they can listen to you and hear what you have to say. That's what I'm talking about when I say coachable. And that's the same thing that Shayna's saying when it comes to relatable. They can relate to what you're saying and feel, because all disabilities, even if they're the same, they're different. Okay. It just, Josie said, never mind. I don't know what that was in regards to, but maybe you can relate to that, Josie, a little bit. I want people to communicate in the right way and to build a friendship, and it actually become a friendship that doesn't feel like you're working all the time. Because I know people like that are in a relationship where a person does need a lot of help, and it feels like to them, but they won't say anything and they won't talk about it and they hold it in, and then they explode at the person, and the person's like, what in the hell just happened? Because they don't. I believe that a relationship involves work, but I don't think it should be work all the time. It should be fun. And a relationship, no matter what, is a two-way street. Okay? Being around the right people, never, never, ever let anyone talk down to you or try to tell you you're not worth nothing. If that person is doing that, they need to go. They need to leave right now. Don't pack their bags, throw their shit out on the street, and watch it burn. I told you, I'm going to be real when it comes to this. People got to stop talking down to people and thinking they can just run them over, because that's not the way to do things. That's not the way to handle things in this world. Okay?
Being treated different because you live with a disability.
And we go through that enough as people with disabilities to where I don't know about you, Shayna, and I want to ask this. I don't want to convince anybody of anything. Okay? I'm tired of convincing. I don't mind proving you wrong, but I'm not going to convince you of nothing. Okay? Everybody's going to have the way they think and the way they do things. How do you feel on convincing somebody of something?
If I say it one time and you don't believe what I'm saying, that's on you. I refuse to sit around and keep repeating myself over and over and over again. And eventually it becomes a broken record.
Okay.
And then you're going to get tired. So if you don't understand, if you don't get it the first time with me, and if I have to keep repeating myself to prove myself, you might as well forget it, because I'm not here to prove nothing to anyone.
I don't mind explaining. I don't mind explaining twice. But after two, if you're still not getting what I'm saying, there is a problem. And what we have here is a failure to communicate, which is being honest. Now, and oh, that's a good point. I stopped proving shit to people a long time ago. Anytime you've got to do that, it's not worth it. Now,
tell me about it, Daniel. Yes,
I believe that, because I'm not here to prove to you anything. I'm gonna show you, but I ain't got to prove to you nothing. Okay,
you gotta show me.
Well, my mom always said this: I brought you into this world, I can take your ass out. I mean, that's just the way it was. I look at life like this. You can tell me you can do something, but in the same sense, if you show me, not saying that you have to prove it to me, actions speak louder than words. Okay? In that sense, we've got to be understanding about ourselves. Now, and this is a biggie, okay? And when I say being around the right people, this is one of the big top threes I want to cover. If all a person has is drama in their life, and all they do is bring you into their shit, you got to go. I don't mind drama. I don't mind things happening, but if every time they talk to you, Lord, let me tell you, my dog died, my goldfish died, I lost my job, I lost my car, I lost my home, you can hit rock bottom. Don't know if I'm ever going to get out. LaQuisha said I done this, and I didn't pay for this, and I got to pay child support. Stop. Deal with your stuff, and then come talk to me. Ooh. I don't want to be brought into anybody else's shit that they got. Okay? Now, there's a difference in dealing with stuff and dealing with a drama-filled person. Okay? If you deal with a drama-filled person, it doesn't get any better. If you deal with somebody trying to work on their life and get themselves together, that's something totally different. Okay? That's what I'm trying to tell you, people. It is different. Okay? Crystal says this. Let me get this pulled up here. Amen, Shayna. I don't have to prove anything. Actions speak louder than words, is what I just said. Daniel laughing over there, singing the same song. Josie says, amen again. Preach it, Josie. Kimberly says hello to the both of you. Hey, Kim, how are you, sweetheart?
Hey, Kim.
All right, so we kind of go through. Some people in order to do what they do, and I'm going to explain this, so give me a minute, have to have drama in their life. Some people are out there just to have drama in their life and to bring you down into their stuff. I love Edwina Wilson for several reasons. She's like a mom, okay? But I love her because she's always trying to lift me up. I have never been in a point where I can say she's trying to pull me down. I am friends with Shayna because Shayna is a builder-upper. She's not a tearer-downer. She'll listen to me if I've got to talk to something. She'll give me advice. She'll hear me out. We'll get through it together. Miss Wilson is the same way. I can call her anytime, any day of the week, any time of the day. I can call Shayna same time. If I need something, or if I'm not feeling something, she'll say, "All right, bro, let's look at it this way." If a person is trying to build you up, they're putting sunshine on your seed, not shit.
That's okay? Right.
I'm trying to be real here. Please save the drama for your mama. Don't bring it here. That's exactly what I got. Enough drama that I got to deal with. Okay, when I add this shit over here with your shit over there, you know what you got a pile of?
Shit.
The same thing you had before, and it gets bigger.
You know what I've learned, DJ, since we're talking about, the drama-filled people. Mm-hmm. I have learned, I actually done a show on this a while ago, mm-hmm. But my daughter, it was one day, I was in here saying, I got to do this, I got to do that, I need this, I need that, this, that, and the third. And you know what my daughter simply said? She said, "Mommy, you know what?" I said, "What?" She said, "That sounds like a you problem." And it brings me back to what she said. And I'm like, she's not being disrespectful at all. Oh. But my daughter is cut and dry to the point. She do not want to hear nobody else's mess.
And I can respect that. But in the moment, you've got to watch how you react. Because in the moment, you're like, wait a minute.
But I'm saying, if a child is able to sit there and say that sounds like a you problem, they don't even want to hear it. So what should the adults should be doing the same thing?
That's beautiful. I love the now what Shane Lord help me, CP. What mm-hmm. Shayna just said is so important mm-hmm. because if a child can see reason, or if a child can see light at the end of the tunnel, where the heck are the adults?
Gone. Because I think I was out to lunch when I was telling her everything that I wanted to do and had to do and couldn't do.
But you know what? Those are those moments that we have. But again, that person that is real, and the person that's in your life to stay is going to do that, and that's awesome. Yeah. that your daughter did that. Mm-hmm. Daniel said this: children can see it sometimes quicker, better than you can. That's true. That's very true. Kim says, "I don't deal with people's drama very well. If shit hits the fan, it's game over." Now see, I don't want to say I don't deal with drama, okay? Because let me explain something. I don't mind occasional drama. You know what? Because Forrest Gump said it. Shit happens sometimes. It happens. That's where the license plate came from. That man made millions of dollars because it's true. It does happen. I don't mind dealing with drama sometimes. I don't mind dealing with intense situation sometimes. I don't mind dealing with your sister Sequita sometimes. But if I'm dealing with that girl all the time, somebody got to go. Somebody got to shut up and restructure. That's the next point. Sometimes all you got to do is hush your mouth.
But DJ, before you get to your next point, have you ever thought, okay, you like a little drama, good for you. Don't mm-hmm. work well with me. But my thing is, for those people that always, that's in your life and they always have a problem. Mm-hmm. It's always an issue, whether it be the children, the dog, the cat, the house, the rat. Right. if whatever, do you sometimes think that maybe you take a look at yourself and just say, don't you think it's you?
Again, let me redefine that. I don't mind a little bit of drama now and then. Okay? But if you got that shit every day and you use it as deodorant, if you got the drama deodorant and your BO, I call your deodorant BS because your BS is causing BO. Okay, let me just say that for you.
Soap, lotion.
For somebody better smell something. Right, run the water. But here's the thing. If you've always got a problem, it is you.
Mm-hmm.
And self-evaluation is important.
Mm-hmm.
Self-evaluation when you've always got a problem and it's never your fault.
Hello.
Never your fault. This girl did this to me. This man did this to me. This person, blah, blah, blah. This person, look in the mirror. You better stand there a little longer.
Something might jump out at you. Yeah, because after a while, especially if you're talking to someone like that and you don't know any better for the first amount of conversations, conversations, you don't know no better. But after a while, if they come back repeating the same issues over and over again, talking about the same person over and over again and how that person don't like me. I never done nothing to that person. After a while, no, ma'am or sir, it's you.
It's you. Why does she or they, and they use she and they and he, and it's never I. Mm-hmm. Sometimes you got to take responsibility for your own shit.
Yeah, some people are in denial.
And that denial, that'll get you in trouble. Kim said this. That's true. I see drama on Facebook all the time. It's like watching a TV show. I am so glad she brought that up. Let me say this. I'm gonna say one topic to this. Shayna, you can comment on your one. Lord Jesus, you can comment on it. God,
I'll comment if I want to. DJ, hit me with it, bro.
Thank you.
I got you.
I was trying to get it out. Sometimes you don't need to put stuff on Facebook. Sometimes leave it where it's out because everything ain't for everybody. That's another Miss Winnieism right there. Everything ain't for everybody. You ain't got to put everything on Facebook so that everybody else can comment on it just so you can cause more problems.
Yep, that's all you do.
Because all you're doing is get everybody else's hand in the cookie jar, and you're gonna have nasty ass cookies that are soggy that you can't eat. And I don't want no soggy ass cookies. I ain't dealing with that.
I don't want no dirty finger cookies.
Don't put the lint ball in the lint jar and all. No. All right. So Crystal said this, and this is a good way to put it. If you require a sticky tube and you're if you require a sticky tube and you're even somewhat identity as a mosquito drawn to it, please just get lost. I have enough on my plate.
There you go.
And it's amazing. I noticed you got to watch out for these people. People want to give advice when they have no idea what the fuck you're talking about. They got to stick their nose where it don't belong. I love this phrase. I use this phrase. It's an A-B conversation. See your way out. If I wanted your opinion, I would have asked for it. Okay? Now, I'm not going to say I'm going to say that to somebody, but in the situation where somebody else came in, if somebody is struggling, okay, and wants my help and asks me, then I'll give my 2 cents. Until then, I'm keeping that shit in the bank. Because after a while, 2 cents will add up.
Sure do.
And this is where I'm trying my best to get people to understand. When I say the right people, everybody is going to tell you what you need to do. But what you need to worry about is what you can control. A lot of times, if we worry about what we can control and stop worrying about what the fuck other people think about us, we can start learning something quickly. Okay.
Mhm.
And that's why I'm talking about, that's why I'm doing these shows the way I'm doing it with Shayna, because I don't want just me to be up here. I'm not just trying to say, y'all need to do this. I want my sister on the other end to say, look, what about this? What about this? I'm not always right. I'm not perfect. I don't always look as good as I do right now. Look, I can't, and I'm okay to say that.
Yeah, and I got a bird's nest on my head today. I don't know what's going on with this ponytail.
All I said was when we started the show, a bird's got a tweet too, baby. Come
Yeah,
on,
that's
now.
right. And this bird tweeting to the side right now. So come on. Hey, look like a toupee falling to the side. But I put my ponytail together. But hey, we're human. It is what it is. Nothing is always going to be perfect.
Oh,
you know what I'm saying? That's all I want to say.
Well, I mean, look. Sometimes the windblown look is in, and it's in today. Okay, we just gonna go with it. All right.
But I ain't hitting no wind. Okay, there goes. I'm not messing with you, DJ. So back to the regular schedule program.
See, this is why I love having my sister on the show. We figure out some stuff because
how did we get here?
I don't know. I don't know
how we got here. Look at this toupee gone wrong.
I agree. Putting it on Facebook is adding fuel to a fire.
Mm-hmm.
That is some things I'm okay with putting on Facebook. Politics and religion. Be careful. Okay?
But you know what else, DJ? Not only the politics and the religion aspect of things, because religion, you're going to believe who you want to believe and what you want to. Exactly. That doesn't bother me, as well as politics. You know what I'm saying? But what bothers me the most, I have two things that bother me. They add their dirty laundry, and then they expect you to trust them to share your information. Why would I do that if you posting everything on Facebook?
That's it right there. Now, I want to comment on something you just said.
And make sure your backgrounds is clean if you're taking pictures. That just cooks my grits, and I had to say it. Okay, go ahead, DJ. Continue, carry on.
If you air your dirty laundry, somebody else is going to smell it.
Yeah. And
think about that.
Yeah. And then you get mad at that person because they didn't pull your card. Well, if you hadn't put all this on Facebook, you wouldn't be in this situation. Although
don't put something on Facebook that you don't want commented on, because you know for damn sure you're going to get commented on it whether you want to or not.
Yeah, and although some need to mind their business, thank you, Kimberly, but they don't. So there it is.
You know, there are some people that have nothing to do better with their lives than to scroll through Facebook and social media and troll people.
They live for it. That's what they do,
and that's how they get their jollies, people. That's what I'm trying to tell you. This is one of those things where people think about it and people understand. When you troll, I have been trolled, and I block them. Now, Ms. Wilson says don't always block everybody. You know, watch them. I'm sorry. You gonna be negative in I'm gonna block your ass. No. You got something negative to say to me and not trying to be constructive. You got to go. I ain't got time for you.
Now, you know what I don't like, DJ, since we're on this subject, you know, with the posting of the Facebook. I try to stay positive and I try to stay upbeat. And I do understand that sometimes you have your bad days. You're allowed that. You're human. But what I do not like is someone always posting how sad they are, how sick they are, and how they sick of living with a disability. I had one person, I had to get rid of it. My thing is, I know it's hard. You may not come to grips. You may not be able to accept the fact that you're living with a disability. I've been there. It took me forever to accept the fact that I have a disability. But every time that's all you do is post sad, depressing things because you're living with a disability, it becomes a lot for me, and I don't like it.
Here's the thing. I'm going to comment on what Shayna said with this. Even the sun shines on a dark day every once in a while.
Mm-hmm.
You cannot have negativity in your life all the time. If you've got negativity in your life all the time, you're going to live a negative life.
Yeah, it rubs off on you. That's like being around a person that's always angry, mad, upset, bitter, depressed, only happy when they got something going on or if they got money in their pocket.
There it is.
It's a nuisance. And it's like you got to walk on eggshells because this person is feeling this way, but you don't know how to open up your mouth and say, sit down somewhere. And I always tell people, is a lot of people that's worse off than what you are, than what I am. So why are you complaining? Why are you pouting and sad and depressed? That stuff rubs off on you.
If you are with a person that lives in misery, you will end up being miserable.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, Crystal said this. You were talking about drama. So many people now live to find drama. That's why they wind up trolling. That's exactly what we were talking about. There are people that dedicate their lives to doing that shit, and it's ridiculous. Now, I want to say this. I'm going to give you 3 goals or 3 things for having the right people in your life, and 3 goals or 3 things to where you need to let them go. Okay? We talked about a couple of them already. Okay, I'm going to cover the positive sides first. Okay? 1, positive side. Right person in your life always lifts you up, never tries to bring you down. 2, always tries to find a positive even in a negative situation. 3, person doesn't let you quit just because you want to.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? What do you think of those?
Yeah, I can say I can agree. I like them. They'll work for me.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I'm glad I got the Shayna sister of approval.
That'll work. Let's
Hey, nest ain't fell out the tree. We good to go. All right.
This nest lopsided right now. Holding my hand.
That's all right. The bird's still hanging on.
Okay, let's go.
So now here's the 3 negatives, and you got to watch this.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, follow people that live in misery. You will end up miserable. Okay. If they're always blaming somebody else, have them take a look in the fucking mirror.
Oh, not in the fucking mirror, DJ.
3.
Look in the freaking mirror, people. DJ saying,
he's still working on me. Like I said,
hey, I'm still working on me too. I might get a hell in the shit slide through, but good grief.
Oh boy! Now, if the 3rd one, if they always bring their shit and no shovel, flush them. Okay, I'm being very real. All right, and the reason I say that is because no one is always going through something. Okay, there's got to be a point in their life somewhere that's positive. Either please find something happy about your disability. I agree, Shayna. That's
thank you, Nick.
That I look at this, and we started doing these shows, weeks ago, and when we decided to do this, when we decided to pick a topic to talk about and just talk about it, and to get people just their reaction. Okay. Numbers used to be important to me. I was all about numbers, because I wanted to reach people. If I've got the same 11 people, if we've got the same 11 people that watch every show, we're doing something right, because then 11 grows to 12, 12 grows to 13, 13 grows higher. And the numbers are coming because you're doing it the right way.
Hell, if I get just one, that's fine with me.
Because you're helping that one person. You're reaching that one individual. And it's hard to go through life. The Bible never says that your life is going to be easy and you won't have any trouble. Matter of fact, it says the complete opposite. I want to cover one last thing. I really believe in what I call the positive effect. And I want to comment on this because Miss Wilson inspired me because of it. You know, that lady goes through a lot of hell. I mean, she goes through it. She really does. We all do. But she goes through it. When you've got somebody that you've got to take care of 24 hours a day, it's hard. And I don't care who you are. I don't care where you are. That mess is hard, no matter what. But every day, she smiles. Every single day. Kelly smiles. Miss Winnie smiles. And her positive energy. If they could bottle that shit up, we'd get enough of rocket fuel and go to Mars. Because I'm going to tell you right now, Kelly and Miss Winnie smile. The power of a smile can do wonders in a terrible situation. I believe that I spent the first 11 years of my life feeling sorry for myself. I used to ask the question, why me? Why was this done to me? Okay. All the friends that I had, all the great things that I had in my life when I was 11, I missed most of it because I was so focused on what I could not do.
Right.
Nikki says, you're welcome, Shannon. Yes, that feeling sorry for yourself with a disability irritated me. Yep, I can.
Yeah. Yes, Nikki, great minds think alike, honey. Yes.
And I realize in my life that this right here, when you put on a smile on your face, the enemy can't win. The enemy cannot win. No matter how hard they try, no matter what they do, you put a smile on your face and do what you got to do and handle your business the right way. I believe in the power of positivity. And I believe in this other phrase too, and it's so powerful. Speak those things that are not as though they are.
Mm-hmm.
But that applies to this as much as
thinking. That thinking.
When you first wake up, the first thing that happens is not your eyes open. Your brain is constantly moving. Crystal says this: you to be able to blame the identity of a narcissistic personality when they always deflect the blame off themselves. And as we were talking about that earlier, yes. I think that well good. I'm glad we can do that, Nikki, because your smile is just as contagious as Kelly is. I'm gonna tell you, both y'all smiles can light up a room. And that's the when you can go through life with people and they realize that you're trying to do something positive and support you instead of knock you down. That's not worth it. If they're supporting you, that's what makes it great. But someone that's trying to knock you down and change the way you feel and think, don't let anyone change you except God or yourself. Unless the change needs to be made. And that's the important part, guys. So I wanted to come up here. We're going to go a little early today because I know Shayna's got to get ready, but I wanted to just come up here for about an hour and just talk to you guys because yes, Kimberly, your mind is the key to your life, but it's very dangerous at the same time.
Kimberly, God, you is telling the truth. Because let me tell y'all something. My mind be going off with ideas of what to do next. But that's just me. Continue on, DJ.
No. I mean,
hit a moment.
I think that happens with everybody. I think, sooner or later, the mind gets going so much that the body has to catch up.
Mm-hmm.
I think, I mentioned Miss Winnie earlier, her mind, I didn't know a mind can go 10,000 miles a minute until I met Miss Winnie.
So many ideas.
Yeah, boy, Miss Winnie's got, if you open the Webster's dictionary and you find the word idea, you're going to have Winnie Wilson's picture next to it. Edwina Wilson is the CEO and founder of the word idea. Because that woman can go through more stuff, and I mean do more stuff, and just everywhere. But then sometimes she's got to recharge. Okay, and she knows that. She knows that. She knows I got to slow down. I got to stop. That I was so happy to see her go to Florida. I was so happy to see her get a vacation that lasted a week from Saturday to Saturday, and she needed that. And to hear her talk about the fun that she had with Kelly, was so amazing. And honestly, about the mind, I'm going to tell you, mine runs a whole hell of a lot better than my legs do. I can tell you that. But I want to say this. You've got to, everything starts right here.
Absolutely.
Everything starts right here. Your altitude is going to be reflected by your attitude. And that is something that we can control. Regardless of the situation, we can still control our attitude. I want to share something that's a little bit off topic. I was talking about numbers the other day, and maybe Shayna can shed a little light on this. Also, I was back 3-4 months ago. I was getting 3,000 and 4,000 views on Facebook. All of my shows that I was doing, 3,000 and 4,000, easy. 2, 3, 4, 1,500. Every week. Now all of a sudden I'm dropping to 100, 200, 300. Some's getting 4. And I got to be honest, it bothers me.
It does, DJ?
It really does. It bothers me to a point because I know Miss Wilson says don't look at the numbers.
Yeah, I don't pay him any mind.
I know. And it's not the numbers that I'm necessarily looking at. I feel like I'm not doing my job. I feel like I'm not.
What did
because I was seeing the productivity of it. Does that make sense?
Okay.
You get 400, 600, 1,000, 2,000, 3,000 views. You're going somewhere. But now I feel like I'm getting 1 and 200 and 300, and I'm just like,
you're not going anywhere.
I'm sharing to the same groups, all 80 of them, and before I was getting 2,000 and 3,000 views in those groups, and now I'm not, and I don't
Mhm.
understand. And I'm not trying to be negative. It bothers me because I want to affect and reach the number of people that I can. And I feel like, am I not doing something right?
No,
Am I missing something that I'm not seeing?
you know what I think it is, DJ? Well, I'm not no therapist or anything like that. I haven't been to school for nothing. Well, I had, but But what I'm trying to say, DJ, is I think that you focus so much on those numbers that's why it haven't happened for you, because that's what you think about. I want to get the views, I want to get the likes, I want to get that. You can't focus on it. That's all you can do, DJ, is get up here and do you and be the best DJ Cardi you can be, and it'll pay off. You're going to get that. You're going to get those views. You're going to get those things like that. But sometimes you got to block it, leave it alone, post your video, and it is what it is. And I
Yeah,
guarantee you, when you're not paying attention, that's the way it goes.
yeah. I'm just curious about the drop because I had it. You know what I'm saying? I had it,
Have
and I was happy with where I was, and then all of a sudden the drop came down, and it's like, well, damn. Why am I not getting the views that I had? And it's just like you said, I'm still doing the best I can, and I'm enjoying it. You know, it, it, and don't get me wrong, and I appreciate that. I really do. The viewers that I have that are constant and watch the show every week, I appreciate that. I really do. I'm just my where I'm mind blown is, how do you go from 3,000 to 200? How do you go from 2,000 to 200? It doesn't make sense to me. That's what I don't understand. And it's not just the numbers. I guess in a way it is, but I mean, I'm not, if that makes sense at all. I'm not just talking about the numbers. I'm talking about the drop itself.
maybe people can't can do the time frame that you're doing, your slots, things like that. Maybe you got to post more often. You got to be consistent. Don't wait till the day of to post. How about you start posting the beginning of that week leading up to your show? Like for me, although I don't
Yeah.
know if it's working or not, if I'm going to post starting that Monday. If I
Mm-hmm.
have a guest coming on or whatever my show's going to be, you got to stay consistent and do it ahead of time. Don't expect for you to post the day of and think that people are going to be there to be able to watch it. You
Yeah.
got to send out those reminders and things like that. You got to be consistent with it. Don't think that it's going to happen when you post it. You just got to be you, be consistent, push your stuff. Push your stuff and don't worry about them numbers. They'll
Yeah.
get there.
Yeah. Crystal says, not a therapist either, but everything is so divided. Add a disability, many people are just torn. Yeah, I understand that. I mean,
Yep. And
I don't know. I don't know if I'm getting across what I'm really trying to say. It's like,
you don't understand how you didn't drop so drastically.
yeah, like, and I'm doing the same thing I've always done, and actually I'm doing more because I'm posting flyers now. And before I wasn't posting flyers at all. And
Well, it's not you. You don't know what your viewers are going through or what they are doing, that they may not be able to tune in at that time. You don't know.
right, but they would still watch the replay again, because all my stuff is posted on Facebook and YouTube, and that's another
Mhm.
thing. I'm trying to post more. I'm trying to post more on YouTube too. I
Mhm.
don't know. I guess it's just concerning me that it's dropped so much, and I'm sorry to kind of get off topic, guys, but it
Hey, you're fine. It is what it is.
I just but anyway, guys, thanks for tuning into the show today. I really appreciate it. I hope we've helped somebody today, and hope maybe you feel just a little bit better about, having the right people in your life. And it takes time,
Mhm.
and you don't just need one, you can have more than one best friend. You can have more than one friend. You can have more than one mentor. Okay. But you don't need to be the center of a room. You just need to be inside of it to make a difference. Lord, maybe I can take my own advice on that one.
There you go. And if
yeah.
you see someone, you guys, if you see someone coming with all their bull, SHIT, you tell them, here's some tissue. Now go clean it up.
Yep. I mean, sometimes you just got to clean it out. And that's, an honest statement. Sometimes you got to, clean out that closet. But join us next Tuesday at 6:00 for Get Real on Will's Talk with Shana and DJ, episode 7. Thank you all so much for tuning in. I'm glad. Thank you, Kimberly. I appreciate that. Being part of this group has helped me out a lot. So thank you.
See, there you go. You are doing it, bro. It's not about the numbers. It's about who you are reaching and helping make a difference in their life.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, you're changing me, bro. You hit me in the heart, and that's all that matters. You're reaching me, and sometimes you gotta tell a friend to tell a friend. So if you out there, please share so we can reach another heart. There you go.
Ooh. Yeah. We got and that's a point too. You got to share it, and I'm doing that every week. But guys, look, if you want to be a guest on the show, please email me. You can also email Shana, but email me at CarterDJ85 at gmail.com or the Sports Minion Radio Show at yahoo.com. Yes, I will be on tomorrow with My CP Does Not Define Me. I do not have a guest tomorrow, so it'll be me, and it's called Living in the Moment. So if you're able to tune in and check it out, please join us on Facebook Live, YouTube, and www.letgoradio. Shana, you want to close us out with anything?
Yes. You can email me at sunshineonwheels@gmail.com. Stay away from all the negativity. Don't pay it any mind. Stay positive. And guess what? If no one haven't told you today, I love you.
Appreciate it.
With the lopsided ponytail.
Hey, Bird's got a tweet too. By the way, y'all can catch me on Twitter at the Sportsman. My CP Does Not Define Me at Minion Sports. 3 YouTubes, Cooking with DJ Carter, Worth the Wait, Chairmaster Games, and My CP Does Not Define Me. Catch me on my blog, CarterDJ85 at Wix.com. Catch me on Instagram at My CP Does Not Define Me. And catch me on Facebook at DJ Carter Jr. Thank y'all so much. Can't be good, be bad, but be good at it. This is D to the J with a roll away saying we'll see you next Tuesday for episode 7 of Get Real on Will's Talk.
Peace.